Welcome, beautiful soul. Day 45, Align and Shine with Mary Jo. 12 steps for recovering Catholics and anyone who is ready to give up all vows of self sacrifice, guilt and shame, and self abandoning. Woohoo! New energy is calling in the remembrance of your wholeness and putting down the old beliefs and patterns that more than likely, if this resonates with you, you're noticing that there's a push pull that's happening in your body and your nervous system that's creating tension, exhaustion. Um, Things aren't working out for you in the old way. The more that you push, the more that you hustle, the more that you effort, the more that you give, it's not working out for you. You're not getting the same return. Um, and your body is you probably have physical issues. So let me know in the comments if this resonates, something clicks. And so we're just not getting away with what we used to get away with on this planet. And when things don't work for us, we start paying more attention. And whether that's our bodies, whether that's our financial flow, whether that's our relationships, our careers, the way we're doing things, we have to go, hang on, because we learned that this is what we had to do at one stage, and it worked for us. So things have to start to break down, so to speak, so that we can have a breakthrough. Okay, so play with me. Come with, I used to say, or I still say, I used to laugh at myself, that self dep dep deprecating, attitude and victim consciousness, poor me, and just, nearly even that martyrdom of like to self-deprecate, what about all that? In growing up in Ireland, and I've seen it other places, but definitely in Ireland, we have a culture of apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. You bump into somebody. Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. And I remember like just having a wake up moment, as you do when you're awakening. You have lots of wake up moments and epiphanies. And it was like, oh my God, we're just going around apologizing for ourselves, for our mere existence. I had a lady in New Zealand actually. She was from the UK. This is many, many years ago. It was back in 2018. And she kept saying sorry. And again, just to bring that sense of humor and to repattern what I brought forward and invited everybody who was on the training, is that every time she said sorry, just for being her, just for existing, just for, she was just saying sorry out of a habit. It was just this habit, unconscious, subconscious habit. And every time she said sorry, I was like, every time you say sorry, we're all going to say, I'm a fucking goddess. And of course, that started to break the unconscious. And we all started to laugh each time. And she started to notice how much she was actually saying it. So we make the unconscious conscious. The first step is awareness. The first step to recovery is acknowledgement. Whether it's whether it's whether it's an overrun of Catholic dogma in our subconscious through beliefs and patterns and old vows, or whether it's alcoholism or addiction or whatever, which often is just a way to numb out from that pain and suffering, that guilt and shame, that sense of I'm not okay, I'm not worthy, I'm not okay who I am. And the belief in that, so we want to numb out and avoid because we believe it until we don't. So this is the invitation to upgrade, and to recover from the Catholic guilt and the Catholic shame the never good enough, and the never getting there. Mary Jo's summary as the icing on the Catholic cake. And again, you don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be brought up Catholic to resonate with this. Check out my video, day 44, if you haven't seen it already. Go to the channel and it should be in the align and shine or inner alignment videos, or just look up day 44. What did I call it? Day 44, self-sacrifice to crystalline template, I think it was. Crystalline service, self-sacrifice to crystalline service. That's the name of the video. Okay, but to today, day 45, yay. A part of 111 days to align and shine. Because you know what? You're worth it. I'm worth it. We're worth it. And this is what's required to really get our energies into alignment and refinement of what is really asking to come into alignment from a higher level of our consciousness. So when we're bumping up against things and banging our head against a wall and things aren't working out for us, we can feel victimized, or we can start to ask new questions and start to get really curious and start to open to new thought, new possibility, and start to realize, okay, hang on, I'm the common denominator. And we realize, okay, hang on, these old beliefs are not working for me. These old vows of self-sacrifice or taking on other people's suffering is not working for me, even if it's these are vows in my lineage or other past lifetimes. So we start to really open up our spectrum on how we view ourselves as a soul incarnated through this human expression. Okay, my loves, so here we go. Are you ready for 12 steps? The 12 steps to recovery. Are you ready to recover? Are you ready to be reclaimed in a new light of wholeness and remembrance through your awakening, to the call of your heart to awaken to remember? Are you ready to put down the old guilt and shame and undeserving and hustle and whatever else, however else is showing up for you? Okay, here we go. 12 steps for recovering Catholics, the crystalline edition. So we're upgrading into crystalline resonance. 1, I admit, with giggles. I admit, hang on. I admit I am not broken, sinful, or unworthy. Now your turn. Repeat after me. I admit I am not sinful, I am not unworthy, I am not broken. My essence is already whole and radiant. Repeat it. My essence is already whole and radiant. Woo! Take a breath with that. And just exhale out any resistance, any pushback. Let it go. Bring a smile to your face. Let the nervous system know this is good. Yes. I admit I'm not broken. I'm not sinful. I am not unworthy. Woohoo! How exciting! My essence is already whole and radiant. Yay! How good it is to remember and to repattern the nervous system with that story. That story. 2, ready? I release the belief that suffering makes me holier, holier than thou, a martyr. Yes, the more I suffer, the closer to God I am, or that was certainly my upbringing in Catholic Church, was like, you suffer for your sins and you repent and you go to confessions. So just like pretty much Catholics all over the world, even though I do feel that Irish Catholics seem to have a bit of a harder hand of it all. I think it's because we're naturally such magical beings and connected with fairies and leprechauns and joy. So I think we had to get a harsher dose of of the dogma to really squeeze it out of us, and probably the potato famine helped with that as well. Starve the people and then hand them the food as long as they take on your dogma. So again, I'm joking around all this. I'm not saying that there's not some truth in the Christian wisdom. Trust me, since I've healed my heart from from the trauma of my Catholic upbringing, which was a lot about fear of God and suffering and da da da. Those were the images in the church, Jesus carrying the cross and all the rest of it, and the heaviness of that, the guilt, the shame. And on healing my heart and really connecting back in with the truth of who I am before life and the church and my family, especially my dad, told me who I was or whoever else. Yeah, and connected back with that essence, I truly feel a much stronger connection and genuine soul connection with the Christ consciousness. So please, even though I'm joking and giggling and bringing humor to this, just recognize that it's getting back to the essence of who we are, and the essence of what Yeshua came to the planet to remind us, that you are God also. You are the Christed light also. Everything I can do, you can do, and more. So we're getting back to the essence before the dogma, before the distortions, before the guilting and the shaming and all that jazz. The suffering for our sins. Okay, so 2. Repeat with me. I release the belief that suffering makes me holy. Take a breath. And exhale out, sigh, release the jaw, release the neck, release the shoulders. Ease, joy, and beauty are sacred too. I accept, I receive, I allow myself to know deeply, deeply, deeply. Now we're talking subconscious, we're talking nervous system reset here into a new story. I allow myself to rewrite the story in my nervous system and my subconscious, that ease, joy, and beauty are sacred too. Valuable, sacred, divine too. All right, here we go. Diving into 3 of the 12 steps for recovering Catholics. I reclaim grace as my birthright. Take a breath. Let it go from the shoulders. Anywhere that carrying, earning, efforting. I reclaim grace, grace, grace as my birthright. It is not earned through guilt. It simply is. It is not earned through guilt. It is simply is. So take a breath. Allow it to move through your system. So you allow that breath is flow. So you're allowing it to receive. It means when you take a breath, you're saying yes. Your body receives the breath as a yes, a full deep breath, belly relaxed, and that's the letting go old information, old toxicity, old limitations, old energies. 4, are you ready? Continue. I forgive myself for abandoning my own needs. I forgive myself for abandoning my own needs, for not listening, for turning away from listening inside, from trusting, from heeding. I forgive myself for abandoning my own needs. Every sacred no now is devotion to my wholeness, to my inner yes, my inner alignment. Every sacred no now is a devotion to my wholeness, my inner alignment now. This deeper calling inwards to align, to remember your divinity within. Pop in the comments, see a comment somewhere, or click on my Substack link, and I'll put a comments link in there, or comment under the YouTube or the LinkedIn, and say, I forgive myself for abandoning my own needs. Or write, every sacred no is devotion to my wholeness. Every sacred no, and every sacred yes, sacred no to self-sacrificing or abandoning our own needs. So we're saying no to that. And the no to the external is a yes to the internal, coming deeper within. Let me know if that resonated in the comments. Say number four resonated. So yeah, whichever ones of these really click for you, really resonate, pop it in the comments. So we're up to 4, now on to 5. Are you ready? Say, yes, I am ready. I am ready to put down the cross and actually receive what Jesus actually spoke of, Yeshua, which was, or more what he spoke about, what he was a living example of, which is resurrection, to take ourselves down from the cross of suffering and sacrifice, and to recognize that there is no death. There is no death. We're eternal beings. But however we transition from these physical bodies, and he did that and returned to say, hey guys, I'm not dead. I've resurrected. Everything I can do, you can do, and more. So this is the time, 2000 plus years after, to remember these sacred words, and to really feel them, not just as concepts and theories and ideas handed down, but deeply where it resonates within our heart and our soul. Okay. 5, I honor my body as temple. Whoa, this is a good one, because I remember being taught that my body carried the sins of the flesh. I honor my body as sacred temple, to be cared for. Rest, pleasure, and nourishment are spiritual acts. Rest, pleasure, and nourishment are spiritual acts. So good. Oh my golly, I'm still integrating that fully into my body, my nervous system. So I really noticed when I was running my retreat for many, many years, and especially after I sold it, the end of 2023, that I was good at supporting others to have rest and nourishment, and to, relax into the pleasure of just self-care. However, to show up for that for myself, I was not as committed. However, I am now, more and more every day. That's why I'm showing up in these 111 days, align and shine, for myself and for those who resonate, because it's such a joy to really realign all this stuff, and to come into a deeper energetic wholeness and frequency, because it's all energy, really. Okay, the next one, number 6, I let go of obedience to external authority. See how you go with that one. Take a breath. I let go of obedience to external authority. So that's where we're waiting for external permission to tell us who we are, to tell us how we feel, to know that we're okay, to know that we're safe. So we're listening again external instead of internally. My inner guidance is the voice of spirit within me. My inner guidance is the voice of spirit within me. I let go of obedience to external authority, and I reclaim that my inner guidance is the voice of spirit within me, and it guides me. So breathe with that. That's a big one. That's a huge sovereign reclamation there. This is what it means to go from self-sacrifice to inner sovereignty, inner alignment, through inner alignment, so that no matter what's going on externally, it doesn't shake that, because we're not available to the external, like, manipulation and allurement and persuasion, because, because we're not trusting ourselves. So when we come into a deeper alignment and remembrance, then we move from here and we make our choices from here, rather than getting caught up in the stage shows external, or trusting external, trusting more in others' voices than our own internal voice. So let me know if that resonates. Number 6, 7. Ha ha ha! I laugh at my guilt. I laugh at guilt. Oh, guilt! I used to take you so seriously. Oh my God! I used to feel so twisted and like my own inner golem of guilt and shame. No more guilt. I see you. I acknowledge you. I bring you into the light of my consciousness with compassion now. And as we bring it into the light, no more in the shadows, the guilt transforms. We can transform that guilt, what was once held in guilt, which is judgment. We can transform that into compassion. Compassion and wise love. No more. Humor is a holy balm that breaks the spell. Humor is a holy balm that breaks the spell. Breathe it in and exhale it out. Break the spell of guilt. No more. Ha ha ha. He he he. Ho ho ho. Ah. Okay, so 8. So I'm going to share 8 and 9, and then we may leave it there. So 8, I honor devotion. I honor devotion without martyrdom. Service flows from fullness, not sacrifice. I honor devotion without martyrdom. Service flows from fullness, not sacrifice. One more, breathe it in. Breathe it out. Last one for this video. 9, I reclaim the mystic's flame within the church's wall. So I reclaim the mystic's flame within the church's wall. The love, the stillness, the sacred symbols live in me beyond doctrine. Isn't that beautiful? I reclaim the mystic flame within the church's walls. The love, the stillness, the sacred symbols live in me beyond doctrine. Okay, so take a breath with that one. So what we're doing here is we're shifting from self-sacrifice from the old self-sacrifice template to the crystalline service template. Okay, so I'll just read this to you. So in the Catholic template, service equals sacrifice. So the Catholic archetypes celebrate saints and martyrs, those who suffer for others. This can imprint the idea that suffering is holy and ease is selfish. Obedience equals obedience to inner guidance. So yes, service equals sacrifice, the Catholic templates, and then obedience so shifting from obedience now to inner guidance, from this Catholic template to crystalline template. A heavy emphasis on authority can train a child to override their inner knowing in favor of external rules. Can you relate? Can you remember your childhood? What were you taught around authority? Whether it's religious, governmental, and so forth. guilt as compass. Guilt and shame became the nervous system signals instead of joy and resonance. So that's what we're shifting. Spiritual hierarchy, the belief that you must earn grace rather than it being inherent. When you choose a sacred no now, you're literally reversing the imprint of that template, showing your nervous system and soul that you can be devoted and serve from wholeness without self-abandonment. So, from a soul perspective, your Catholic upbringing isn't an obstacle, it's your training ground. You incarnated into it to experience the template of devotion, discipline, and service so that now, in this timeline, you could transmute it into a higher octave of embodied service. So, we're not rejecting Catholicism, we're liberating its mysticism from its guilt patterns and carrying forward the essence of devotion and compassion, but through crystalline ease rather than sacrifice. And so it joyfully, gracefully is. Yay, 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 yay. So you got 9 steps there, 3 more to go, but I'm gonna leave those for this video because I don't want to make it too long. And also, I want to give you a sacred invitation. I have been inspired to create a 2-hour immersion for us to gather, just a small intimate group of us to gather who this resonates with, to gather online on Zoom on October the 6th at 10 a.m. New Zealand time. And you can book online via my Calendly link, 12 steps for recovering Catholics or anybody who's done with self-sacrifice, self-abandonment, guilt, shame, never good enough, never getting there, and just really wanting to up level your energy to be in this more expansive, new thought, new possibility, and more in alignment with these new frequencies and energies on the planet. The Aquarian age of awakened consciousness, re-remembering our wholeness and holiness and the sacred temple within who we truly are. So yeah, if you're done with exhaustion, if you're done with burden, if you're done with overwhelm, if you're done with depression, anxiety, stuckness, you are welcome to come along. You don't have to have been brought up in a Catholic upbringing. Just resonate with the message more than anything. In New Zealand, there's the tall poppy syndrome, which is their version, which is you're not allowed to rise, you'll be judged, you'll be pulled down, you're not allowed to celebrate yourself. So again, it's like the Catholicism, you not, don't you dare think yourself as holy or sacred or godly in any way. So it's the same idea. It's just this way of keeping down and dampened and restricted, really. So this is about liberation through sacred witnessing, sacred reclamation. Yeah, and repatterning on the practical level. It's repatterning the neural pathways, the nervous system, the subconscious. Yeah, with a new story, because you're worth it. We're worth it, and it's possible, and we can. And it's actually not, it's actually very, very accessible. It just takes a bit of conscious awareness and intention, sacred witnessing, and some embodied attunements as well to really anchor it in the nervous system. Okie dokie. So with that, I will leave you in beautiful, joyful reclamation and divine love. And so it joyfully is. So check out the links below, click on my Substack link, wherever you're seeing this, and you'll find the Calendly link, or I'll do my best to make it available wherever you see this. But just in case I don't get around to all the places where I'll be sharing this. So just to clarify, I publish this on my Substack daily. Every day I do a live video for my 111 days. This is day 45 of 111 days Align and Shine. And then from Substack, it goes out into my YouTube channel, Divine Love Ambassador, and my LinkedIn for my Vibrant Wellness Academy, Vibrant Wellness Day Spa. Okay, so you might be seeing it in any of those. multi-passionate, but it's all connected. Ultimately, it's all about love. And so it is. Namaste.